Hello, everyone. Good morning to you all. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. And this is the Pick Parents Academy. Today, we are talking about parent-child conflict resolution strategies for peace. Yes, I know that this is actually a major problem in most of our homes. Parent-child struggles, conflicts here and there because we don't understand each other. So today, this is what we are going to talk about. I welcome all of you once again. My name is Ekia Safu. Now, if you haven't, if you want to, you can share this link to other parents to also watch, to your friends, to your family to also join us so that we can all learn together. So conflict resolution, conflict is actually, it's something that happens in most of our homes. Every single, in every single home, you will see there's this issue. It's a major problem in most of our homes, in our parenting. But this can also be very transformative, when we approach it with the right strategies. When we approach it with the right strategies. So imagine a home where whenever there's disagreement, you are all cool, you are closer, there's no fight, your child feels respected and understood. Imagine a home like that. I believe we all want, to be in an environment like that. So if we want, then how are we going to create such an environment so that we can have a peaceful home? How are we going to create this, such an environment so that we can have a peaceful home? So today I'm here with my lovely sister, Chinyere Obina. She's the sex education coach. We are going to talk about this together. It's going to be a discussion. So if you have any questions, put them in the comment section. We will look at it and answer for you as we are having, the discussion. So I want her to start saying something about it, about the topic, so that we can take it from there. All right, sis, you are good to go.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, good morning from anywhere you're watching. And once again, I appreciate my friend, my sister Ekwe, for always bringing me up here. It's that trust for me. And today we are talking about parent-child conflict resolution strategies for peace. And like Ekwe has said, as long as there is human relationship, there must be conflict. It doesn't matter whether it's parent-child relationship or parent-parent, spousal relationship or friends relationship or classmates. As long as there are human beings involved in a particular place or season or time, conflict is bound to happen. We have conflict among nations. We have conflict among countries, cities and states and all that. That's why um, conflict resolution, I don't know, in our country, I remember when I was it third year, a new course was introduced, as a general compulsory course. That's peace and conflict resolution. It was just a course, and now it's compulsory because the world is, as long as we are here in this world, there must be conflict. It's like Jesus saying, as long as you are on earth, offenses must happen. That's simply what he was saying, that conflicts must happen, right? Now, the question is, how do we go about this resolution? And we must also point out that we are talking of resolution, right? We are talking of resolution. That's how to resolve this conflict, right? And when you talk about resolution, that means that we are coming to a point of where everyone, is satisfied. You understand? Both parties are taken care of, are satisfied. It's not resolution if only one person gets to. There's nothing like winning. I don't think there's anything like winning in conflict resolution, right? If somebody feels like a winner and the other person feels like a loser when you're resolving conflict, then it's not conflict resolution. Okay, so today we're talking about strategies on how to actually go about resolving conflict between. Today we are focusing not on international conflict. It's not intertribal conflict. It's not friendship conflict. It's not marital conflict. We're here focused because this is Peak Parenting Academy, an academy for parents. So we are here focusing on the conflicts that exist between parents and between the parents and the child in a family. That's what our focus is on today, to talk about how to resolve the conflict that usually exists and must exist between parents and child amicably, for the purpose of peace. Remember, I said it before, peace is the center. Everybody must feel at rest and at peace, right? So let's sit steady, buckle up our seatbelts for a wonderful ride today. Yeah, over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for that introduction. Um, so I want us to begin to look at what conflict is. What is conflict? Conflict is parent-child conflict. It's a disagreement that occurs between parents and their children, and this may be due to their differences in opinions, expectations, or needs. And some of the reasons why actually some of the cause of parent conflict resolution is because there is lack of connection, also because there is no contribution and problem with communication. These three things are the major causes, some of the causes actually, of conflict between parents and their children. Now let's look at the first. Now note that some conflicts are healthy and others are not healthy. So note that difference. So now our focus is on the unhealthy conflicts and how we can help resolve these conflicts between the parent and the child. So what is the first conflict that happens? Conflict actually happens for several reasons. And number one is communication gaps. Communication gaps. Okay, so most families actually lack effective communication. We don't know how to communicate with our children, and our children also, because they are learning from us, they do exactly what we do. If you want, it's all about influence. How you are able to influence your child. That is how the child will be able to, you'll be able to get the child to do what you want them to do. It's not about controlling. It's not about talking anyhow, to the child, to make the child feel like it seems like you want to, how do I put it? You want the child to know that you are the one in charge. So when we learn how to communicate effectively with the child, all these conflicts that come will be resolved. So communication gaps is one major reason why there's conflicts between. I'm going to give three so that Chinere will also continue and with the other reasons. The second one is lack of emotional control. We are unable to control our emotions, and this is why most conflicts happen. When a child does something, instead of us to hold on, reflect on what they did, why they did that, we don't do that. We are unable to hold ourselves back and ask ourselves so many questions as to why our children do what they do. All we do is that we react. All we do is we react, and this thing actually causes conflict every time. And in most homes there are no peace because no one is able to control themselves. There is no emotional regulation. Child is unable to control themselves emotionally. Parents are also unable to control themselves. And since these children are learning from us, anything that we do, they learn, they copy. So please, without emotional regulation, if you're unable to control yourself, there's no way you'll be able to resolve conflict amicably with your child. There is no way you'll be able to do that. You need to be in charge of your emotions. You need to be in charge of your emotions. Now, there are animals. Animals act anyhow. They act anyhow. Once they feel a certain way, they just act without any thinking. But we human beings are different. We have the capacity to think, to wait and reflect on some issues that happen. And this is what makes us different from these animals. So we have to, anytime something happens, take your time. Don't let it be an emergency. Take your time and think about it. Why is your child reacting or acting this way? Why is your child giving this misbehavior? It could even be that a lack of attention. When there is lack of attention, okay, when children really need attention, they misbehave. When a child needs attention, they misbehave. Probably your child feels like, I'm not getting the attention I need from my mom. I'm not getting the attention I need from my father. So whatever they have to do to ensure that that attention is given to them, they do it. And to a child, see, attention is like food for a child. Attention is like food for a child. So you can't be there anytime the child feels that they are not getting that, they will misbehave. And negative attention for a child is better than no attention at all. So let's pay attention. Whenever your child does something that isn't appropriate, instead of reacting, instead of saying all sort of things, instead of doing all sort of things, what we have to do is ask ourselves, why is my child behaving this way? And what can I do to help the child? I always say this thing. We need to ask ourselves these questions. And another reason why there's conflict between parents and their children is because parents always expect expectations. We have higher expectations. We want our children to behave in that way. Probably you've gone somewhere, seeing your child's friend, or your friends, your friends' children act in a way that you admire so much, and then you go home, you see your children do the opposite, and because you are expecting your children to behave like the way your friends' children are also behaving. But you don't know what that particular person, that parent, that friend of yours, you don't know what they have done to help their children behave in that way. So instead of you coming to put, unnecessary expectations and all those unnecessary pressures on the child, take your time and teach the child. Teach the child. We most of the times expect our children to behave like adults. I've heard some parents even say that, do you think you are a child? You're not a child. The child is a child. How they can get better is, it's a process. You need to teach. We believe in process. It's a process. You don't just expect something to happen when you haven't done the work. You need to take the child through the process. Whatever behavior you see in your child, teach it from day one. Have a curriculum. Anything you want to, teach your child, pass that child through the curriculum. Have a curriculum. This is what I'm going to teach this child this first week. Second week, this is what I'm going to teach this child. You need to pass the child through that so that the child begin to do what you expect them to do. If you haven't taught something, don't expect too much of the child, because the child only does what you have taught them to do. Do we understand? So I want to end here so that Chinyere Obinna will also continue with the points that she has.
Awesome conversation here, Ikwa. Thank you so much for those very wonderful points. And you actually hammered on one of the points I have here, which is attention-seeking behavior as one of the major reasons why there is conflict between parent and child. And like she said, attention for children is food. Okay, it's food. One of the ways we actually show our children that we love them is through giving them attention, undivided attention. I'm sure we are all guilty one way or the other of not giving our children undivided attention, especially in this digital era, right? In this phone era, where we are always on our phones, we're always working, and a lot of times we have excuses for not giving that full attention. Like, excuse me, I'm working. I'm not actually that you're playing game on your phone, or you're watching Netflix, or you're Facebooking, or scrolling. You're actually doing legitimate work, and you expect in the process you're not giving attention to your child, right? And then when that child begins to feel unattended to, they start feeling as abnormal, right? They start feeling like abnormal, because for them, attention is something that they require. And what happens for them? For a child, negative attention is better than no attention at all, right? So it's better they even give that negative reason for you to attend to them than for them not to get attention at all. And this is not just for toddlers, even teenagers, young adults. When you see children, young adults, teenagers who are misbehaving, maybe they are becoming sexually promiscuous, just know that a lot of them are seeking for attention. I remember a story that was told by Coach David Folarimi during one of the drug conversations, where he said that, he went to a school, he met two girls, right? And one of the girl, okay, one of them said that she was 13, at the time of that meeting. And then he was all over her that this girl was a drug addict, at 13. And then when he began to have a conversation with her, she's like, her father is a very, very busy businessman in Lagos. I think actor, the first one, actor, a very busy, yes, they are very rich, but the father is a very busy, busy, busy man that he doesn't pay attention to her, right? There's no parental. He's trying to use, she started telling the story of how she started using drugs, how somebody told her, a classmate told her to go to the father's wine, what do they call it, winery at home, and get a bottle of I can't remember the particular alcoholic wine, and then put a tablet of paracetamol inside, right? So the first time she did it, the taste was, she couldn't, continue. But then, she tried, and until she now started doing it, became used to it. And from there, she entered into other wrong drug abuse, the stronger ones, the marijuana, cocaine. And then from there, it became, of course, that all these things go hand in hand. There's no way you'll be involved in alcohol, drugs, that you'll not be involved into sexual vices. From there, she also became sexually active at 13. Imagine a child of 13 and, having experienced all these within this short, few years. And she said it, that she's getting back at her father. That was the girl seeking attention from the father. So at this point, when she becomes, tipsy, when she's, misbehaving and all that, the father must stop. That's something we don't understand as parents. If you don't stop, like if you don't intentionally stop, like intentionally pay attention, you must pay attention. You must, at every point in time in your parenting journey, there must come a time when you must pay attention. So it's either you're deliberately paying attention to your child in a positive way and they are growing positively, or situations will make you to pay attention in the future, just like this parent I'm talking about. So at the point of addiction, troubles, school problems, the father had to pay attention. So it's a matter of choice. What kind of attention will you like to pay? There's always a payment to do, okay? And it's either you pay now or you pay later. So there's nothing actually that should take the place of the attention we give to our children. Yes, we must balance our lives, we must work, we must make money, but it's all about priorities, right? So if you prioritize your parenting, prioritize your relationship with your children, then you're going to also prioritize attention. Attention is something that is paid. You pay it, and you pay it forward. You arrange your life and your systems and structures in such a way that you pay attention to what needs to be paid attention in priority. And sometimes you are actually doing something at home and your child needs your attention. Shut that thing down, maybe for a minute or two, and give that attention to that child. And they're not looking for too much. I remember another story where they said a son went to the father and asked the father how much he's paid per hour. And the father said whether $100 or $50, I don't know. So the child now brought out that money and gave it to him and said, please, may I have an hour of your time? That was really, really, really touching. Do you understand me? So it's since he saw that he was not getting there, so he said, let me pay you to get that time from you, and I'm sure that father was moved positively. So let's not get to that point. Attention. Let us prioritize connection. I know in the Peak Parenting Academy and of course in the Inner Tribe, connection is going to be a priority. It's going to be a priority. Like any parenting you're doing without connection, without paying attention to your children, it's a waste of time. Like I said before, They don't need much. Just at that time, maybe they are showing you something that they drew. It won't take you up to 5 minutes. In fact, 1 minute to look at that thing and say, oh, it's beautiful. There's how you actually comment on what a child is doing, and the child will know that you're paying attention. You understand? And they understand. They have their spirit. They understand. Or they understand that you're just trying to, let me just get out. Right? So by the time they bring that in 1 minute, okay, can you just clean this area and do this area this way, or color this area? What if you do this? That means that child will just know that you're paying attention, right? Or it's something they wrote. They're like I was doing the other day. I was actually busy. My son brought that thing. He said it's a game he made. And I was reading. And I started correcting the grammar. That's paying attention. I could have just looked at say, oh, that's good. Take just to dismiss the boy. But I shut down my phone. I looked at it. And as I was reading, by showing him the areas where he needed to add S or cross a T, he knew that I paid attention, and it didn't take up to 2 minutes, and he was gone back to continue what he was doing. So this thing is all about priorities, right? So let's put into our system paying attention to our children. Then the next one is lack of conflict resolution skills. Ekwa mentioned it such in one way, like emotional skills. And she said that our children are learning from us. We are modeled. So the way we resolve conflict is the way they will also resolve conflict. If we lack that positive resolution skills, they will lack it too. And where we are lacking it, it will just get, there will always be conflict in such a home where there is no conflict resolution skills. And part of it is communication, as she talked about, how we communicate with our children, how we say things to our children. And then she has said a lot about that. But I want to talk about understanding who your child is as one of the ways by which we actually can resolve parent-child conflict. A lot of us don't understand who our children are. A lot of us don't know our children. We don't know their temperament. We don't know their personality. We don't know their life. We don't know their learning style, right? All this information are things we put together to understand, okay, it works together with communication. If you understand who your child is, it will help your communication skills with your child. You understand? For example, when we talk about understanding your child, you understand what stage your child is and how best to communicate to that child. That's one thing. For example, the way you communicate to a toddler is not the same way you communicate to a primary school child, a school-age child, and it's not the same way you communicate with even a teenager. By the time they begin to enter into puberty, the brain is just, touching here and there. So you can no longer be reading out information like that and expect them to carry it that way. So you understand your child. And part of understanding your child is understanding the stage at which your child is per time and how they will understand you better. You understand? Then, and part of understanding how your child learns, right? Understand how your child learns, how your child, understands information. You understand? So, for example, if your child is, sometimes you understand that, okay, for this child to follow my instructions to the letter, I have to write it down. I have to make a list for the child, okay? So the child just follows the list one after the other, so that when I come back, I'll see that the child has ticked all that they have done, so they don't forget anything. I'm sure we have experienced our children say, I forgot. Yeah, it's even, when your child begins to enter puberty, I forgot is normal, becomes, and it causes conflict between me and my teen daughter a lot. And I'll be like, why must you forget? And I'll call back myself to others, say, this is where she is. The brain is bombarded by hormones, a lot of things is going on there. So just reading out information. I say, sweep this place, after do my room, after that, then I come back and nothing is done, or maybe one thing is done. Why? I forgot. I said, you wanted to forget. I said, you wanted to forget, but I'll come back and say, let's look at this. It's not how it's supposed to be done, because this is the stage at which she is. I understand that as she is even though, she's an auditory learner, she's an auditory audio visual learner, but I will help her a lot if I make a list. Even though she's an auditory learner, but she's a pubescent child, and then you know she has to learn to be organized, her brain, right? And one of the ways to do that is to actually make a list, a to-do list. So I have to make a list for her, or tell her to make a list of the things that I expect of her that she will work with, even if it's not even a pubescent child, there's something called key performance index, right? And key performance KPIs in organizations. This is what is expected of you by the organization. So you can actually have that for everything that you want your child to do, right? If your child, for example, if a child's chore is to clean up the kitchen, then you paste on the kitchen wall key KPIs, right? This is what you expect, and these things are things that cause conflict at home, because like Ekwa said, you're not a child. You should know. You should know that after washing the plates, you should clean the sink. You should know that after that, you should sweep the floor. You should know that you should take off the trash. Really? How would they know? Like, where are they coming from? They just came. So you're the one that will teach them, right? So by the time you put that on the wall, on a portion of the wall in the kitchen, KPI for your kitchen chore, and you put it down. This is clear cut communication. Wash the dishes, clean the sink, clear the cupboard, clean the gas, take off the trash, sweep the kitchen, mop the floor, like that. And then it's even easy for you. You don't even stress yourself. By the time your child say, I'm done with my chore, you say, go and check before I come to inspect, go and inspect it by yourself and use the list. Beautiful. You understand? And then the child goes, checks the list one after the other, matches what they have done, and everybody is having a peaceful atmosphere at home. There is no kitty kata kata like we say in Nigeria. Everybody is jumping. Have you done this? You have not done that. Oh no, right? So when you understand your child, who your child is, you understand the personality of your child. That this your child lacks, probably because of their temperament, they lack staying power in doing something. Maybe your child is a sanguine, like one of my children. They want to just be everywhere. And when they are doing something, they cannot stay, at it for a long time. Then it will give you're able to have strategy. So it doesn't always cause conflict between you and the child. Look, this is who you are. This is what you do. Now, how do we walk through it? Like she talked about, passing it through a curriculum. How do we walk through to make sure that you stay on a task until you finish it without me yelling up and down, shouting and running up and down? You understand? So these are things you need to understand about your child. And sometimes you need to understand that they are not, understand children generally. Sometimes we even say, this child wants to kill me, or that they are really, really, really bent on making me angry. That kind of mindset, that this child just wants me to always be stressed. No. No child loves your child loves you. They don't want you to be stressed. They don't want you to die early. They don't want to kill you. They don't want to make you run up and down. They don't want to, no, understand that about your child. They love you. So, but the childishness in them will always manifest itself. So sometimes tell your child, I know, I remember my son telling me, I don't know, I asked him a kind of question of like, he said it so sincerely. I said, yes, I know. I know you don't want to make me angry. I know you don't want to stress me out. I know, right? But you see, we have to, work things out and make things work for everybody in this home. And by that way, we are resolving, conflict. We are trying to create peaceful atmosphere in our homes. Okay, so it's very important you understand who your child. Ekwa talked about you going out and you see a child all prim and proper, and you're like, oh, this is the age of my child, and my child is all over the place. Or you're like, oh, this child is even younger than my child, And look how organized they are. It's very important to understand the child you are parenting and parent the child you have, not the one that you want to have, not the one that is not in existence, not the one that you wish to have. You look at the one that you have, the present situation that you are in. For example, you saw a child that is prim and proper. Are you the same with the? Did you compare yourself with the parent, the child's parent? Before you come and start comparing your child with that child, compare yourself first. And you find out that, oh, probably this parent is so organized, so prim and proper, so disciplined. And I'm not disciplined, I'm not prim and proper. So how do you expect your child to be like that person's child? Oh, come on, calm down. You understand? So we need to be calming down, right, for our children, and then give them the leeway. Teach, like Ekwa said, teach and give time for learning, patience, understand. All these things are mindsets that we have, and that we know that we can have peace and limit the conflicts in our home.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. This is insightful. The points you've given are so on point. And I want to add a few, some 2 points to what causes conflicts, parent-child conflict resolution. Well, I think Chinyere has mentioned one, personality and temperament of the child and the parents. Mostly, you may be, choleric, your child, or you may be someone who is cool, calm, phlegmatic, right? And your child may be sanguine. And sanguines want to be everywhere, but you phlegmatic, being phlegmatic, you are the type that wants to be quiet, cool. You don't like the noise and all of that. But you see, your child is opposite who you are, and this can cause conflict resolution. So as Chinyere has said, if you understand your child's temperament, your child's learning style, his or her love language, like who your child is, you understand the child, you won't have any problems with the child. And this is what we are going to actually teach in the inner tribe. So if you want to know more about how you can really understand your child, I'll entreat you and encourage you to join the inner tribe. Okay, so one other thing I also want to add is that there are so many stresses. Like, parents are so stressed. Some parents have stress in the work, financial stress, and all of that. And we tend to, when we come home, when we go, we go to work, we come home, things didn't go how we expected. So we come home with this stress, and we extend these things to our children. Even when the kids haven't done anything, because you are stressed, probably you wanted something you didn't get, you were expecting some payments that didn't come, and because of that, you are passing your anger on your children. And these things we need to really check. The child is not responsible for that. The child didn't let things go the way they went. So take your time, and sometimes you need to. That is why you need to be emotionally intelligent and aware of how you are feeling per time. So know that your child didn't cause all of that. So take your time and talk to your child whenever that comes to you. So let's look at strategies, how we can resolve these parents, child conflict. How can we? I believe Chinyere has mentioned quite a number. So I'd want to add these things. Let me see. Okay, maybe I may add 3 or 4 to it. So I want us to, first of all, we need to have empathy for our children. Have empathy for your child. Sometimes you need to put yourself in the child's shoe. Okay, you need to be able to see through the child's perspectives. Like, how does my child think? Some things are age appropriate. Some misbehaviors are age appropriate. Your children may misbehave, and it's okay. It's fine. Every child misbehaves. So focus rather on how you are going to help that child. They are misbehaving. They are communicating something to you. So you need to focus on how you are going to help that child solve that problem that he or she is facing. Most of the times I give this analogy that, imagine yourself, you go to a different planet and you don't know anything there. It's just the same way as a child. They have come here, they are new here, they don't know anything. It is up to us as parents to guide them, to teach them, and we need to be patient. It will take time. Let's trust the process. It's a process. Without you passing through the process, you can't teach what you want your child, what you want to see in your child. Your child can't have that quality you want to see in them. So let's be patient with our children. Let's have empathy for them. When you have empathy for someone, you understand them. Irrespective of whatever thing they do, you understand them, and then you focus on how you can help this child. So you most of us, preach to our children, when I was your age, I wasn't doing this thing, I was perfect, I was doing everything, I was organized. Stop preaching perfection to your child. Teach them that it's okay. When I was your age, I made mistakes. I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to do that. But I learned. Mommy taught me. My mommy taught me. My daddy taught me. And that is how I became better. That is how I learned to do this. That is how I learned to pack, things. And that is what we need to do for our children. Some time ago, we were, writing. We had an activity that we were doing in the home. Everyone, we were all supposed to write, what you are grateful for. So I'll write for my kids, and my children will also write to me. And my girl wrote something that I was so touched. She was like, "Mommy, I make mistakes, but I thank you for always having the patience, taking your time to always teaching me what to do right." And it got me so emotional. Like, I didn't know the child was really watching how I was, teaching them, how I was communicating with them. They are not perfect. No, we are not perfect. But the fact that she's able to, recall all of that means that whatever you are doing, your children are watching. Whether you are doing it intentionally or you are doing it, unintentionally, they are watching. They know what you are doing. So please, let's have empathy for them. Let's understand that they are children. Their brain will develop when they get to age 20, 23, 24, 25. That is when the child's brain is fully developed. So if your child is 7, Celia said in her session during the parents' conference that when you calculate, just do the calculation. If your child is 7 years, take it out from 24 years. You will see, the number of years that is left for your child to fully develop, for your child's brain to fully develop. It will take time. It will take time. So please, let's understand our children. Let's teach them patiently in love. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be firm. We need to be firm, but let's do it with patience. Let's do it with love. That is how we can help these children. Now, another point that I would want to talk about is we need to build trust. We don't have to force our children. Authority is not force. The fact that you are the parent doesn't mean you should force. If you are forcing, then it means you have, in the first place, lost control. That is why you are fighting. Because you feel like my children don't regard me anymore. So you want to do something that will make, will make everyone around, especially we want to mostly impress people around. So you want to do things for other people to see that, yeah, you are still the one in charge. No, authority is not force, it's not control. You don't have to control your child. Learn to, build, and you have to be able to influence your children to do what you want. You need to learn to influence your children, get your children to do what you want. Some people complain a lot, my children don't do this. When I ask them to do this, they don't do it, and all of that. Yes, it's normal. It's okay. You need to calm down, be aware of yourself, know that these things are normal, they happen. Your children are going to sometimes misbehave and all of that. So if they do, how do you help them? How you help them is so important, it's key. How you help them is important. So let's take note of that. And I would want to add that we need to also set clear boundaries. Okay, we need to set boundaries. As Chinyere said, you need to have KPIs, and we have it in our home, how to lay the bed, how to clean the kitchen, how to set the dining table. You can create a list how to do this. So KPIs for how to lay the bed. You paste it there. The child knows, okay, this is what I have to do first, second, third, fourth. Okay, so when they finish, they come and tell you. Let them go back to the list and check if they followed everything. If they are done, then you go and inspect it, and then you know that, oh, yeah, they get it. So anytime the child cannot come and tell you, I don't know how to do it. Sometimes they don't do things because truly they don't know how to do it. So if you create that KPIs for them, it will help guide them. You know, it will be like a guide. You're talking and the yelling will calm down. Okay, it will calm down. So you need to take parenting, you need to have time for it. You can't raise a champion and say, you can't want to raise a champion and say you don't have time. You can't want to raise a leader, someone who is going to influence people, someone who is going to, do great things, and say you don't have time to do it. No. If you are saying you don't have time, then it means you're not ready to raise, that leader. You are not ready to raise that person who will become a savior. So please, let's take note of that. You need to have time to do things, to teach your child. You need to have time. You need to have time. And let me add this final one, that we need to model calmness and respect. Calmness and respect. If you want your child to respect you, you need to respect the child. Anything that you expect, the Bible says that pardon me for that. So you do to others what you expect others to do unto you. Yes, you do unto others as you expect others to do unto you. So if you're expecting that your child puts up a certain behavior, then know that you also need to first of all show that to your child first. Then the child will learn and then do what you are doing. So it's very important. Let's talk to them. Let's respect them. They are also humans. They are gods as well. They are gods. Okay. So let's regard them. Let's respect them. The way you talk to a president's daughter or a president's son, that is the same way you need to talk to your child. That is the same way you need to talk to your child. If the president of Ghana, or if the US president, Donald Trump, comes to you and tells you to help him raise his child, maybe he has a son that he wants you to help raise, will you do just anything? You will not do anything. You will learn anything that you will do to make sure that you raise that child well. You will do it. So see your child as that child, someone who is going to grow to become the president of the nation, someone who is going to grow to help so many people. So see your child like that, then you take your time and teach the child skills, valuable skills. It's all about you. It's all about me. It's all about us. So let us take note of these points that we have shared here. And okay, let's take note of these points that we have shared here. Yeah, someone has, my name is Ikia. My name is not Amma. My name is Ikia. Okay, so let's take a mother on purpose. Okay, says, thank you so much, Ikia and Chinyere. I believe you were saying it, typing Ikia. God richly bless you for what you are doing. Thank you so much. And God bless you too for coming here to learn with us. God bless you. We appreciate that a lot. Okay, so let's take note of that and let's help our children. These children are just kids. They don't know things. It's up to us. We have to, let's just get that understanding and see, if you don't learn, if you don't get better, you can't give better to your child. You may have the good intentions. You may want to do things like, oh, I will help my child, I will guide my child. But if you are not someone who have learned, or who have, let me put it that way. If you're not someone who have learned what to do, you will not be able to help this child. That is why it's to grow as a parent. And how do you grow? We have brought the Peak Parent Academy Inner Tribe to take parents on a purpose. We are going to take you. It's a process. Parenting is a process. It's not something that, like, you have come here, you have learned this, and you say all your problems are solved. No, you need to go through a process to learn things one step at a time. See, it's an 18-year journey. Once your child is 18 years, of course, we know that they've grown and they can, take certain decisions. But under 18 years, you need to help the child, guide the child. And how do you do that? You do that by learning to, fill your cup first, and then you can pour something for your child. I hope this was helpful. Please, if you have any question, drop it so that we can answer that for you. Chinyere, do you have anything to add? I've unmuted you. You can talk.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you have said it's quite good, and yeah, parenting is not about one-time webinar, tips, hacks here and there. It's about a process, and you must learn as a parent to take your processes serious. Not even progress, not perfection, but are you going through a process? That's the question. Are you going through the process? Are you on a journey? Are you working on yourself? Are you becoming? Are you growing? That's, when you come to that realization that your everything about your child, depends on you. Like you are the destiny of your child. Then you really do a lot and not blame and focus on the children. You focus on becoming. And that's why the inner tribe is there. The inner tribe is a place where it's not a children's place. It's not where we train children. It's not where we teach children. Because they say inside first before outside, right? We go from the roots. It's where parents are trained. This is not the time to do parenting without training, right? You will not make it. Everybody, you must have somewhere that you're being trained as a parent so that you will be a better person raising a better child. You must come to a point where you make up your mind that you're going to be that ancestor, that blessed ancestor for your generation. Like they'll look back and say, this particular parent, this is where the whole change started in this ancestry, in this lineage. Okay, so you cannot continue what your parents are doing before. You cannot say that's not how my parents did it. Like I said during the peak parenting conference, where you were living is not where we are living right now. That world is gone. Where your parents raised you, it's extinct. This is a different world. This is a different generation with peculiar problems, challenges, and tools. So the best thing that can happen to you is to get yourself into a community where you are supported, where you are empowered, where you are being made, where you just submit yourself to becoming. That's what many of us are doing. We are in a place where we are becoming, and God is helping us and helping our children. And some things happen. You don't get like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You're just in a peaceful state. Why? Because you know that you are in a process, and not just that, you trust the process. You trust me. I just have one kind of peace that I know. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. So, and when he's old, he will not depart from. That means during training, they will depart from it. They will make mistakes. They will go astray. But there is a peace you have that you're still training, that you're still in the process. And that when they get old, it will all add up. It will all come together and make a beautiful thing out of your child. But first of all, go through the process. And the inner tribe is that your place of process. Is that your place of refining? You understand? By the time you go through the courses, go through the teachings, go through the connections, let's not even talk too much. You're going to personally see that you're going through a quarry. That's all I have to say.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I believe there are no questions now. There are no questions. So we would want to end here. You can still share the link to other parents to also, catch replay. It's going to be there forever. It's going to be there forever. And we are going to be bringing you more of these every week. You are going to have live sessions every week. So I want you to stay glued. If you haven't joined the inner tribe, we have payments terms that you can reach out to us. We'll let you know. Maybe you may be having some issues. Reach out to us and we will let you know how to go about that. It's going to be a transformative journey. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. So see you some other time next week. where we bring you another topic in parenting that will help you in your journey as a parent. See you. Thank you so much, sis. I honor you for your time. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.